Discipline is power. Let that sink in for a moment. Discipline is power. You see, in this world, there are two types of people. Those who run the day and those who let the day run them. Which one are you? The difference between these two groups isn't talent, it isn't luck, and it certainly isn't circumstances. The difference is discipline. Now, I'm not here to tell you that discipline is easy. If it were easy, everyone would have it. But I am here to tell you that discipline is worth it. It's the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's the fire that turns dreams into reality. Think about it. Every great achievement in history, every monumental success, every life-changing breakthrough, they all have one thing in common. Discipline. The discipline to keep going when others, the discipline to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. The discipline to say no to the good so you can say yes to the great. You see, success is not something you pursue. What you pursue will elude you. It can be like trying to chase butterflies. Success is something you attract by the person you become, and becoming that person requires discipline. Now, let me ask you a question. If you could press a button and instantly double your income, would you press it? Of course you would. We'd all press that button. But here's the thing. That button doesn't exist. What does exist is the opportunity to double your effort. Double your learning, double your persistence. That's the real button. And guess what? Most people won't press it. Why? Because it requires discipline. Discipline is the ability to give yourself a command and then follow it. It's that simple and that difficult. It's waking up early when your bed feels like a magnet. It's choosing the apple instead of the cookie. It's putting in one more hour of work when everyone else has gone home. It's reading that book instead of watching TV. It's saving money when you want to spend it. But here's the beautiful thing about discipline. It compounds just like interest in a bank account. Discipline grows over time. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. And as it grows, so does your power to shape your life, your circumstances, your future. Let me share a little secret with you. Successful people do what unsuccessful people are unwilling to do. They put in the hours, they delay gratification, they face their fears, and they do it not just once, not just when they feel like it, but consistently day after day, year after year. That's discipline. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, but I'm not disciplined. I've never been disciplined. How can I suddenly become disciplined? Well, let me tell you something. Discipline isn't a personality trait. It's not something you're born with. It's a skill. And like any skill, it can be learned, it can be practiced, and it can be mastered. Start small. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Pick one area. Maybe it's your health, your finances, your relationships, or your career. Choose one small action you can take every day to improve in that area. Maybe it's doing 10 push-ups, saving $5, calling a loved one, or reading for 15 minutes. Whatever it is, commit to doing it every single day for the next 30 days. No excuses, no days off. At first it will be hard. Your old habits will fight back. Your mind will come up with 1,000 reasons why you should skip today. But this is where the magic happens. This is where you flex your discipline muscle. Because every time you follow through, every time you do what you said you would do, you're building power, you're proving to yourself that you are in control, that you can be trusted, that you have what it takes. And here's the incredible thing. As you build discipline in one area of your life, it spills over into others. You'll start to see opportunities for growth and improvement everywhere. You'll start to crave the feeling of accomplishment that comes from following through on your commitments. You'll start to addiction to progress. Now, let's talk about why discipline is so powerful. You see, discipline gives you options. When you're disciplined with your money, you have the option to quit a job you hate. When you're disciplined with your health, you have the option to live a long, active life. When you're disciplined with your time, you have the option to pursue your passions. Discipline is the ultimate form of self-respect. It's saying to yourself, I matter. My dreams matter. My future matters. It's taking responsibility for your life instead of blaming circumstances or other people. It's choosing long-term satisfaction over short-term pleasure. But here's the catch. Discipline requires sacrifice. You can't have it all. You can't eat whatever you want and expect to be in great shape. You can't spend every dollar you earn and expect to build wealth. You can't waste hours every day and expect to achieve your goals. Discipline means saying no to the things that don't align with your values and your vision for your life. And let me tell you, that's not always easy. We live in a world of instant gratification. We're bombarded with messages telling us to indulge, to take the easy way out, to prioritize pleasure over progress. But remember this, for every disciplined effort, there are multiple rewards. The rewards of accomplishment, of self-respect, of opportunity. Think about the most successful people you know. I'm not talking about fame or fortune here. I'm talking about people who are truly fulfilled, who are living lives of purpose and meaning. I guarantee you, without exception, these people are highly disciplined. They have clear priorities, and they stick to them. They don't let their emotions dictate their actions. They do what needs to be done, whether they feel like it or not. Now, I don't want you to imagine yourself 5 years from now. Imagine that you've spent these 5 years practicing ironclad discipline. You've stuck to your commitments. You've pushed through discomfort. You've consistently chosen growth over comfort. What does your life look like? How do you feel about yourself? What have you accomplished? I'll tell you what, you're unrecognizable. You're stronger, more confident, more capable than you ever thought possible. You've achieved things you once thought were out of reach. You've become the kind of person who inspires others, who leads by example, who makes a real difference in the world. And it all starts with discipline. It starts with the decision to take control of your life, to stop drifting and start directing. It starts with understanding that your life is not shaped by the big dramatic moments, but by the small daily choices you make. Let me share a personal story with you. Years ago, I made a commitment to read at least 30 minutes every day. Now, 30 minutes might not sound like much, but let me tell you, some days it felt like climbing a mountain. There were days when I was tired, when I had a million other things to do, when Netflix was calling my name, but I stuck to it. Day after day, week after week, month after month. And you know what happened? My world expanded. My thinking evolved. I gained insights and ideas that transformed my business, my relationships, my entire life. But more than that, I proved to myself that I could be disciplined. I built a habit of following through on my commitments. And that habit spilled over into every area of my life. Now, I'm not special. I don't have some unique ability that you don't have. The only difference is that I made a decision and stuck to it. And you can do the same. In fact, you must do the same if you want to create a life of success and fulfillment. Because here's the truth. Life is not going to hand you what you want. The world doesn't owe you anything. If you want success, if you want growth, if you want to make a difference, you have to earn it. And the currency of earning is discipline. Discipline is what turns potential into performance. It's what separates the dreamers from the achievers. It's what allows ordinary people to do extraordinary things. Think about the greatest athletes in the world. Do you think they became great by only practicing when they felt like it? Of course not. They show up day after day, rain or shine, whether they're feeling motivated or not. They push their bodies to the limit. They study their craft. They make sacrifices that most people aren't willing to make. That's discipline. Or consider the most successful entrepreneurs. Do you think they built their businesses by working only when inspiration struck? No way. They put in long hours. They face rejection after rejection. They keep going when everyone else tells them to quit. They have the discipline to do what needs to be done, even when it's hard, even when it's scary. Now, I'm not saying you need to become a world-class athlete or a billionaire entrepreneur, but I am saying that whatever your goals are, whatever success looks like to you, discipline is the key to getting there. But let's be real for a moment. Discipline isn't always fun. It's not always exciting. Sometimes it's downright boring. It's doing the same thing over and over again, day after day, even when you don't see immediate results. It's choosing the hard right over the easy wrong. But here's the thing. The pain of discipline weighs ounces, while the pain of regret weighs tons. Think about that for a moment. The temporary discomfort of doing what needs to be done is nothing compared to the lasting ache of knowing you could have achieved your dreams if only you'd been more disciplined. So how do you develop discipline? Well, it starts with clarity. You need to know what you want, why you want it, and what you're willing to sacrifice to get it. Without clarity, discipline is impossible. You'll be easily swayed by every passing whim, every fleeting desire. Once you have clarity, it's about creating systems and habits that support your goals. You see, willpower alone isn't enough. Willpower is like a muscle. It gets fatigued with use. That's why you need to create an environment that makes discipline easier. If you want to eat healthier, don't keep junk food in the house. If you want to save money, set up automatic transfers to your savings account. If you want to be more productive, turn off notifications on your phone. Make the right choices easy and the wrong choices hard. And here's a crucial point. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's not about never making mistakes or never having setbacks. Discipline is about consistency over time. It's about getting back on track quickly when you fall off. It's about making the right choice more often than not. Remember, every choice you make is a vote for the person you want to become. Every time you choose discipline over distraction. Every time you choose hard work over shortcuts. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you're casting a vote for your future. And let me tell you, those votes add up. They compound. They create momentum. Before you know it, you're not just doing disciplined things. You are a disciplined person. It becomes part of your identity, part of who you are. Now, I want to address something important. Some of you might be thinking, but what about balance? What about enjoying life? Does being disciplined mean I can never have fun? Absolutely not. Discipline isn't about deprivation. It's about intention. It's about being in control of your choices rather than letting your choices control you. In fact, discipline can lead to more enjoyment, not less. When you're disciplined with your time, you have more free time to do the things you love. When you're disciplined with your money, you have more resources to invest in experiences that bring you joy. When you're disciplined with your health, you have more energy to fully engage in life. Discipline allows you to live life on your terms. It gives you the freedom to say yes to the things that matter most to you because you've already said no to the things that don't. But here's the catch. You can't wait for motivation to strike before you act. Motivation is fickle. It comes and goes. Discipline, on the other hand, is reliable. It's there when you need it, regardless of how you feel. In fact, action often precedes motivation. When you take disciplined action, even when you don't feel like it, motivation often follows. You start to build momentum. You start to see results. And those results fuel your motivation to keep going. So don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until the conditions are perfect. Start now. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Because the truth is, there will never be a perfect time. There will always be challenges, always be obstacles, always be reasons to put it off until tomorrow. But remember this, a year from now, you'll wish you had started today. 5 years from now, you'll look back and be amazed at how far you've come. But only if you start now, only if you commit to discipline today. Now, let's talk about the power of small, consistent actions. You see, most people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in a year. They look for big, dramatic changes instead of focusing on small, daily improvements. But here's the truth. Success is rarely the result of one big, heroic effort. It's the result of showing up day after day, putting in the work, making small improvements, and staying the course. Think about it this way. If you improve just one each day, at the end of a year, you'll be 37 times better. That's the power of compound growth. That's the power of discipline. So don't despise small beginnings. Don't discount the power of tiny habits. Every disciplined action, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. It's building your discipline muscle. It's creating positive momentum. Now I want to address something that many people struggle with, the fear of failure. You see, discipline requires you to step out of your comfort zone. It requires you to try new things, to push your limits, to risk failure. But here's the thing, the failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every successful person has failed many times. The difference is they didn't let failure stop them. They had the discipline to get back up, to learn from their mistakes, to keep moving forward. In fact, I would argue that discipline is even more important when you fail. It's easy to be disciplined when everything is going well. The real test of discipline comes when you face setbacks, when you encounter obstacles, when you feel like giving up. That's when you need to dig deep. That's when you need to remind yourself why you started in the first place. That's when you need to recommit to your goals and your values. Because here's the truth, the only real failure is giving up. Everything else is just learning, just growth, just part of the journey. So embrace failure. See it as feedback, not as a final verdict. Use it to refine your approach, to strengthen your resolve, to fuel your discipline. Now, let's talk about the relationship between discipline and freedom. Many people think that discipline is restrictive, that it limits their options. But the reality is just the opposite. True freedom comes from discipline. Think about it. When you're disciplined with your health, you have the freedom to live an active, energetic life. When you're disciplined with your finances, you have the freedom to make choices based on what you want, not what you need. When you're disciplined with your time, you have the freedom to pursue your passions and spend time with the people you love. Discipline creates options. It opens doors. It gives you the power to shape your life according to your values and your vision. But here's the key. You have to be disciplined in the right things. You have to be clear about what truly matters to you. Because discipline without direction is just busy work. It's not enough to be disciplined. You need to be disciplined in pursuit of the right goals. That's why it's so important to take the time to reflect on your values, to clarify your priorities, to define what success means to you. Because when your discipline is aligned with your deepest values and your biggest goals, that's when the magic happens. That's when you tap into a level of motivation and commitment that can overcome any obstacle. Now, I want to talk about the role of discipline in leadership. Whether you're leading a company, a team, a family, or just yourself, discipline is essential to effective leadership. You see, people don't follow words, they follow examples. If you want to inspire others to be disciplined, you need to model discipline yourself. You need to walk the talk. You need to be the kind of person that others want to emulate. When you're disciplined, you build trust. People know they can count on you. They know you'll do what you say you'll do. And that trust is the foundation of all effective relationships, whether in business or in life. Moreover, discipline allows you to make tough decisions and stick to them. It allows you to say no to the good so you can say yes to the great. It allows you to stay focused on your long-term vision even when faced with short-term challenges. But here's the thing. Discipline in leadership isn't about being rigid or inflexible. It's about being consistent in your principles while being adaptable in your methods. It's about having the discipline to listen, to learn, to evolve. Because the world is constantly changing, and what worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. The most effective leaders have the discipline to continually learn, to stay curious, to challenge their own assumptions. Now, let's talk about the connection between discipline and personal growth. You see, growth doesn't happen by accident. It's not something that just occurs naturally over time. Real, meaningful growth requires intention. It requires effort. It requires discipline. Think about it. Every skill you've ever developed, Every piece of knowledge you've acquired, every positive habit you formed, they all came through disciplined practice and learning. Whether it's learning a new language, mastering a musical instrument, or becoming proficient in your profession, it all requires discipline. But here's the beautiful thing about growth. It compounds. Just like compound interest in finance, personal growth compounds over time. The knowledge you gain today becomes the foundation for what you'll learn tomorrow. The skills you develop this year will open doors to new opportunities next year. That's why it's so important to commit to lifelong learning, to have the discipline to continually push yourself, to step out of your comfort zone, to embrace new challenges. Because the moment you stop growing is the moment you start dying. Now, I'm not saying you need to be in constant hustle mode. Rest and recovery are important too. But what I am saying is that you should never become complacent. Never think you've learned all there is to learn. Never believe you've reached your full potential. Because the truth is, your potential is limitless. The only limits that exist are the ones you place on yourself. And discipline is the key to breaking through those self-imposed limits. Let me share another personal story with you. Years ago, I made a commitment to write every day. Not because I wanted to become a professional writer, but because I wanted to clarify my thoughts, to improve my communication skills, to challenge myself to articulate my ideas more effectively. At first it was hard. Some days I'd sit there staring at a blank page, not knowing what to write. Other days I'd write something and immediately want to delete it because it seemed so inadequate. But I stuck with it, day after day, week after week, month after month. And you know what happened? Not only did my writing improve, but my thinking improved. I became clearer in my communication, more logical in my reasoning, more persuasive in my arguments. That discipline of daily writing transformed not just my ability to write, but my ability to think. And that's the power of discipline. It doesn't just improve the specific area you're focusing on. It spills over into every area of your life. It changes who you are as a person. Now let's talk about the role of discipline in overcoming adversity. Because let's face it, life isn't always smooth sailing. We all face challenges, setbacks, unexpected obstacles. And in those moments, discipline is what keeps you. You see, it's easy to stay disciplined when everything is going well. It's easy to stick to your diet when you're seeing results. It's easy to save money when you're getting raises. It's easy to work hard when you're being recognized and rewarded. But what about when things get tough? What about when you hit a plateau in your fitness journey? What about when you face a financial setback? What about when your hard work goes unnoticed? That's when discipline really matters. That's when it separates the achievers from the dreamers. Because discipline isn't just about doing what's easy. It's about doing what's right, even when it's hard. Discipline gives you the strength to persevere when you want to quit. It gives you the courage to face your fears when you want to run away. It gives you the resilience to bounce back from failure when you want to give up. Remember this? The storms of life will come. That's inevitable. But it's your discipline that determines whether those storms break you or make you stronger. Now, I want to address something that many people struggle with, the feeling of being stuck. Maybe you feel like you're in a rut, like you're not making progress, like you're just going through the motions day after day. If that's you, I want you to understand something. Feeling stuck is not a life sentence. It's a wake-up call. It's an opportunity to reassess, to recalibrate, to recommit to your goals and your values. And the way out of that stuck feeling, you guessed it, discipline. The discipline to take a hard look at your life and be honest about what's working and what's not. The discipline to make changes even when those changes are uncomfortable. The discipline to take action even when you don't feel motivated. Because here's the truth, motion creates emotion. When you take disciplined action, even small actions, you start to build momentum. You start to feel a sense of progress. And that progress, no matter how small, can reignite your passion and your motivation. So if you're feeling stuck, don't wait for inspiration to strike. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity. Start now. Start small if you need to, but start. Have the discipline to take that first step, and then the next, and then the next. Now let's talk about the role of discipline in achieving balance in life. Because true success isn't just about achieving in one area. It's about creating a life that's fulfilling across all dimensions. You see, discipline isn't about becoming a workaholic or sacrificing everything for a single goal. It's about being intentional with your time and energy. It's about aligning your actions with your values across all areas of life. Your health, your relationships, your career, your personal growth. Discipline allows you to set boundaries. It allows you to say no to things that don't align with your priorities, so you can say yes to the things that do. It allows you to be fully present in each area of your life, rather than constantly feeling pulled in different directions. Think about it. When you're disciplined with your time management, you can be fully focused on work when you're at work, and fully present with your family when you're at home. When you're disciplined with your health, you have the energy and vitality to show up fully in all areas of your life. But here's the key. Balance doesn't mean giving equal time to everything. It means giving the right amount of time to each area based on your values and your current season of life. And that requires discipline. The discipline to regularly assess your life, to make adjustments, to stay true to what matters most to you. Now, I want to address a common misconception about discipline. Many people think that being disciplined means being rigid, inflexible, or devoid of spontaneity and joy. But nothing could be further from the truth. Real discipline, mature discipline, actually gives you more freedom, more flexibility, and yes, more joy. Because when you're disciplined in the important things, you create space for spontaneity and enjoyment in other areas. Think about it. When you're disciplined with your work, you can fully enjoy your leisure time without guilt or stress. When you're disciplined with your finances, you can splurge on experiences that bring you joy without worrying about the consequences. When you're disciplined with your health, you can fully engage in life's pleasures, knowing you're taking care of your body. Discipline isn't about depriving yourself of joy. It's about creating a foundation that allows you to experience deeper, more lasting joy. It's about delayed gratification, yes, but the gratification when it comes is so much sweeter because you've earned it. Now, let's talk about the role of discipline in building self-confidence. You see, confidence isn't something you're born with. It's not something that some people have and others don't. Confidence is built through action, through experience, through doing the things you thought you couldn't do. And that's where discipline comes in. Discipline gives you the push you need to step out of your comfort zone, to face your fears, to take on new challenges. Every time you follow through on a commitment, every time you push past your perceived limits, you're building confidence. Think about it. When you have the discipline to stick to a workout routine, you build confidence in your physical abilities. When you have the discipline to learn a new skill, you build confidence in your intellectual capacity. When you have the discipline to keep your word, you build confidence in your integrity. This confidence then becomes a powerful force in your life. It allows you to set bigger goals, to take on greater challenges, to believe in possibilities you never considered before. And it all starts with discipline. Now, I want to address something that many people struggle with. The fear of missing out, or FOMO as it's often called. In today's world, it's easy to feel like you're always missing out on something. There's always another opportunity, another event, another shiny object vying for your attention. But here's the thing, you can't do everything. You can't be everywhere. And trying to do so will only lead to exhaustion, frustration, and a lack of real progress in any area. That's where discipline comes in. Discipline gives you the strength to say no to the good so you can say yes to the great. It gives you the focus to commit to what truly matters instead of being pulled in 1,000 different directions. Remember, success isn't about doing everything. It's about doing the right things consistently. And that requires discipline. The discipline to choose your priorities carefully, to stick to them even when other options seem tempting, to stay focused on your long-term goals, even when short-term distractions arise. Now let's talk about the role of discipline in creating habits. You see, our lives are largely shaped by our habits, the small, often unconscious actions we take day after day. And the key to creating positive habits, you guessed it, discipline. At first, forming a new habit requires conscious effort and discipline. You have to remind yourself to do it. You have to push through resistance. You have to stay committed even when you don't see immediate results. But here's the beautiful thing. Once a habit is formed, it becomes automatic. It no longer requires the same level of conscious effort. That's when discipline truly pays off. Because now you're automatically doing the things that move you towards your goals without having to think about it. Think about brushing your teeth. For most of us, it's such an ingrained habit that we do it without even thinking about it. But at some point in our childhood, it required discipline to make it a daily practice. The same principle applies to any habit. Exercise, healthy eating, saving money, reading, meditation. At first, it requires discipline, but with consistent practice, it becomes a natural part of who you are.
And that's the ultimate goal of discipline, to make the right choices so consistently that they become automatic, to align your habits with your goals and values so completely that success becomes inevitable.
Now, I want to talk about the importance of celebrating your wins along the way. You see, discipline isn't just about pushing yourself, it's also about acknowledging your progress, no matter how small. Too often, we focus solely on the end goal, discounting the small victories along the way. But those small victories are crucial. They provide encouragement, they build momentum, they reinforce the power of your discipline. So make it a habit to celebrate your wins. Did you stick to your workout routine this week? Celebrate that. Did you save a little extra money this month? Acknowledge that achievement. Did you learn something new today? Take a moment to appreciate that growth. These celebrations don't have to be grand gestures. Sometimes just taking a moment to reflect on your progress and feel good about it is enough. The key is to recognize the power of your discipline and to use that recognition as fuel to keep going. Remember, success is not a destination, it's a journey. And discipline is what keeps you on that journey, moving forward day after day, regardless of the obstacles you face. Now, as we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with a challenge. I want you to commit to one act of discipline every day for the next 30 days. It doesn't have to be big. In fact, it's better if it's small, achievable. Maybe it's waking up 15 minutes earlier. Maybe it's reading 10 pages of a book. Maybe it's doing 10 push-ups. Whatever it is, choose something and commit to doing it every single day for the next 30 days. Why? Because this small commitment will start to build your discipline muscle. It will show you the power of consistent daily action. It will prove to you that you have what it takes to be disciplined. And here's the thing. At the end of those 30 days, you won't just have accomplished that one small thing. You'll have proven to yourself that you can set a goal and stick to it. You'll have built confidence in your ability to follow through. You'll have created momentum that you can carry into other areas of your life. Remember, discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And as it gets stronger, you become more capable of achieving your biggest goals and dreams. So, as we wrap up, I want you to remember this. Discipline truly is power. It's the power to shape your life, to achieve your goals, to become the person you were meant to be. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, every time you choose long-term, gain over short-term pleasure, every time you push through discomfort to do what needs to be done, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. You're building the life you want to live. So embrace discipline. Welcome it into your life. See it not as a burden, but as a tool, a powerful tool that can help you create the life you've always dreamed of. Remember, success is never owned. It is only rented, and the rent is due every day. Pay that rent with your discipline. Show up every day, do the work, stay committed to your goals and your values. Because at the end of the day, it's not about being perfect. It's not about never making mistakes or never facing setbacks. It's about having the discipline to keep going, to learn, to grow, to become a little bit better each day. That's the power of discipline. That's the key to creating a life of success, fulfillment, and meaning. So go out there, be disciplined, be consistent, be relentless in the pursuit of your goals, because you have greatness within you, and discipline is what will bring that greatness out. I thank you for your time and attention. Now go out there and make discipline your superpower. The world is waiting for the unique contribution that only you can make. Don't let it wait any longer. Start now. Start with discipline.